Message today is from Matthew 25, verses 31 through 40, of the Inclusive Bible. Hear these words which invite us into new life. At the appointed time, the promised one will come in glory, escorted by the angels of heaven, and will sit upon the royal throne with all the nations assembled below. Then the promised one will separate them from one another, as a shepherd divides sheep from the goats. The sheep will be placed on the right hand and the goats on the left. The ruler will say to those on the right, "Come, you blessed of God, inherit the kingdom prepared for you in the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you fed me. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you welcomed me. Naked, and you clothed me. I was ill, and you comforted me. In prison, and you came to visit me." Then these just asked, "When did we see you hungry and feed you, or see you thirsty and give drink? When did we see you as a stranger and invite you in, or clothe you in your nakedness? When did we see you ill or in prison and come to visit you?" The ruler will answer them, "The truth is, every time you did this for the least of my sisters or brothers, you did it for me." We are all called.
Thank you, Ron. In our Lenten study of parables of Jesus, parables that call us into action, this one stands at the pinnacle. It is a parable that clearly calls us into service. Although there's some interesting things in this parable that might be puzzling to you. So, as you've gotten used to in the last few weeks, we're going to kind of pull that apart and help you see what might be lying under the surface. This parable is often called the Judgment of Nations, and it's also called an apocalyptic parable. Now, an apocalypse has come to mean for us the end of the world, like the world will explode and we'll all be gone, except for those who get saved, right? In any case, apocalypse means only revelation or change. It means a vision of something new. So when I hear that this is an apocalyptic parable, it tells me that it shows us a new kind of a world that we can be part of, that we can help create. It doesn't mean the end of everything. It means the end of that which is not good and the creation of that which can replace that which is not good. So anyway, this parable has always intrigued me because it's about sheep and goats. Sheep and goats, the sheep and the goats. And of course, the sheep get to be the good guys, and the goats get to be the bad guys. Now, I did a little bit of research on this, and it seems that in Jesus' time, sheep and goats were herded together. They weren't separated. They lived together, one with another. Of course, sometimes you have to keep track of them. These are the sheep, these are the goats. But there was no implied goodness or badness in sheep or goats. And there were several uses of both animals as offerings, burnt offerings in the temple. But there doesn't seem to be this, the sheep are always good and the goats are always bad. And so I was trying to figure out, what is this about? That the parable so clearly says the sheep are good and the goats are bad. Well, I think Jesus was trying to make a point here, saying that you all have a choice. It just happened that the sheep got to be the good guys and the goats the bad guys, which unfortunately has come down through history to remain their role in life. Have you ever pet a baby lamb? It's awful. It's just horrible. So keep that in mind when you think sheep are always good, cute things, and goats are always bad things. In any case, it's as if Jesus is giving us a way to understand the choices we have. We have choices. We can choose to be on the side that fosters relationship and community, or we can choose to be on the side that is selfish and greedy. Those are two of the choices we make. But the choice is ours. The judgment comes from ourselves when we choose. We have the gift from God, morning by morning, new mercies. Every day we have gifts from God, and we can choose to take them and use them or not. This parable so vividly points out some of the things that Jesus is trying to help people see as part of their role in life. Now remember, in Jesus' day, someone who was sick, for instance a leper, was unclean, so you could not go near them. People who were poor were seen as less than. So Jesus is turning the tables on the cultural norms once again, as he's so fond of doing, and saying, even as you helped the least of my sisters and brothers, notice that too, not the least of those people, the least of my sisters and brothers, you did it to me. So it seems that on the surface there is a clear message here, a clear call to help. But we get caught up in that so much because we spend a lot of time figuring out who the least of these is. Okay, Jesus said, do it to the least of these. Who are those people? Let's sort them out so I know that I can help those people. When in fact, I think it's a call to help everybody. This is a general call from Jesus which says, even as you do it to the least of these, you do it to me, and do it to everybody. You shouldn't have to think about it. It shouldn't be something that you spend time deciding, am I going to help this one? Am I going to help this one? When the call comes for help, you're ready and available to offer the help. The other piece that I've been trying to help us grasp even more firmly is that all of this is about relationship. It's not about, I'm going to help you, but I don't want to have to get my hands dirty. It's about getting into the place of the person you're helping and understanding what their life is and connecting with them. That's where Jesus calls us, into that connection. And I love this sign, as wacky as it is, random acts of kindness. If we can all do those, we might just get the world going in the right direction. Random acts of kindness. How many of you have been the recipient of a random act of kindness that you did not expect? Yeah. How many of you have offered random acts of kindness? It's like you're in line at Starbucks in the car and you pay for the person behind you. You don't expect any thanks. It's just doing it because it's what you want to do. That's the kind of thing I think Jesus is getting at in this parable. And the fact that it's our choice. Thanks to a parishioner who sent me a link to a trailer for a movie, and unfortunately she's out sick today, but tell Liz that I really love this. It's about a movie, a documentary that was made in 2008, and Liz's comment to me was, this seems right on track with our theme of faith into action. It's a movie called Fierce Light, which is a documentary. Fierce Light, When Spirit Meets Action. It's a 2000 documentary written and directed by a man named Velcro Ripper, who is Canadian. And it focuses on spiritual activism. Wow. Fueled by the belief that another world is possible, Ripper explores the stories of people who've turned to a spiritual activism as a means to cope with personal and global crises. A spiritual activism. And I think that's a phrase that we can really embrace in this congregation. That we are called, we are convicted, as we said in the prayer, we are convicted by our faith to do what we need to do in the world. To bring that faith to life, to bring it into action. When I was in seminary in Berkeley in 2005, 2006, I took a class called Art and Religion. And we had a final project we had to do, and I struggled with coming up with something to do, but I was struck by the fact that Pacific School of Religion is in an area of Berkeley called Holy Hill, where there are 11 seminaries. And it's right next to the University of California, but it's kind of in a world of its own. And I was struck at the gulf between the seminary and the mean streets of Berkeley, which were very close by, and San Francisco. So my project was set, it's a slideshow that's set to the song O Vos Omnes by Pablo Casals. And the translation is, "O you people who pass by on your way, behold and see, is there any sorrow like my sorrow?" O Vos Omnes.